1993, a dolphin rescue team headed by biologist Jay Gorzolani responded to an emergency call at a saltwater marsh on Interstate 95, just outside of Sarasota, Florida.
On this particular morning, fairly early in the morning, we got a call from the Florida Highway Patrol, of all organizations, who was reporting that a passerby had spotted a stranded dolphin near the Manatee River.
The adult male dolphin, which had apparently been attacked by a shark, was gravely ill and had beached itself in the shallow waters of the inlet.
They only beach themselves when they're ready to die. And that puts us in a disadvantage because it's as if you have a person who doesn't come to the hospital until they're near death. And there really is not much of anything that we can do for them.
Despite the odds, Jay was determined to save the dolphin, who rescuers had named Freeway.
I knew that time was important, that the tide was going out, and the longer he sat there, the less chances there would be for the animal to survive. The decision was made to try to physically walk him out of the area, to bring our stretcher down and to try to walk him through the tidal marshes and some of the tidal creeks to a nearby RV resort where we would be able to load him into our rescue van.
Finally, after more than 3 hours, rescuers transported Freeway to the Moat Marine Laboratory, where the first priority was to diagnose his condition.
We got blood results back. We took some additional blood sampling. We gave him some tests, which we call swim tests, which evaluate his ability to swim. And he flunked those miserably. As soon as we would let him go, he would list to the right and sink to the bottom of the pool, and was not able to get up on his own. So we'd have to go down and get him.
For the next 72 hours, volunteers and staff worked in 4-hour shifts, holding up Freeway to keep him from drowning and buying time to save his life.
His primary problem appeared to be respiratory related. The listing to one side and the sinking would indicate that he had a problem on the right side of his chest.
We want to point it that way. This way, I think. We'll get into the river this way.
The staff and veterinarians discovered that fluid was building in the dolphin's chest, and left unattended in the wild, he would have died. The only hope of saving Freeway's life was a risky procedure commonly used on humans, but rarely attempted on dolphins.
When we try to treat marine mammals, we, in many cases, think to ourselves, what would we do if this was a person? How would you remove a lot of fluid from the chest of a person? And the answer is chest tap, where you would take a 16 or 14 gauge needle and then insert catheter into the chest in the hope that some of this fluid would drain off. But by the time we were done, we had probably taken somewhere between 3 and 4 gallons off of the right side of his chest. Once that happened, there was a dramatic improvement in Freeway. The next step in his recovery would be to give him some room to swim, to try to get his weight up. So we start to place live fish in the pen with him to see if he is showing any interest. Does he remember how to eat things that wiggle instead of things that are fresh frozen? And he did that also. He chased down some fish. A lot of the shark wounds that he had undergone when he was stranding had healed, so we evaluated him as basically suitable for release back into the wild.
After 4 months of love and care, the day everyone worked so hard for finally arrived.
Hey, I'm ready.
Are we ready? I did somebody behind us.
Rescuers began the process of transporting the 400-pound dolphin to the release point.
I invited all of the people who were there for the original rescue. It was my choice to have these people to be the last ones to have their hands on them, since they were the first ones that had their hands on them. We transported him up to Emerson Point, which is the mouth of the Manatee River, near the stranding site.
After attaching a radio transmitter to his dorsal fin, Freeway was lowered into the water.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And with a flip of his tail, was on his way.
To remember what he was like 107 days prior when he couldn't even float on his own, to feel a sense of accomplishment that you have taken him from death's door to the point where he was leaping completely out of the water was personally satisfying to me, and I know it was to a lot of the other people there as well.
6 months after his release, Freeway was spotted swimming with a large group of dolphins in nearby Tampa Bay. From all accounts, he was healthy and happy, and that is perhaps the greatest reward for all of those involved in the dramatic fight to save his life. When Wild Rescues returns,